Yesterday we talked about the sympathetic response, the part of the nervous system that activates under threat. Today we're looking at the other half, the parasympathetic response. And understanding this one changes how you think about rest and recovery, and why contrast therapy does what it does. The parasympathetic system is the opposite to your fight or flight response. Its job is restoration. It's the state that your body needs to digest food, repair tissue, regulate hormones, consolidate memory, and sleep deeply. Without it, none of that happens properly. The problem is that most people don't actually access this enough, and they don't actually know how. Most people who use cold water therapy are only training half of their nervous system. When the parasympathetic branch activates, heart rate slows down, blood pressure drops, breathing deepens and becomes more regular, the muscles in your gut start moving again, digestion resumes, your immune system, which suppresses during sympathetic activation, comes back online. Your body returns to baseline, and it's now passive. It's an active biological process. Your parasympathetic system works just as hard as your sympathetic system, just in the opposite direction. There's one nerve in your body that controls your stress response, and you can train it. The key chemical here is the neurotransmitter that drives the parasympathetic response. It slows your heart rate via your vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body, which travels from your brainstem down through your heart, your lungs, and your gut. The vagus nerve is responsible for what you feel emotionally, and it's why it lands in the chest and the stomach. And it's why breathing is one of the most direct ways to shift the nervous system, because breath rate is one of the few autonomic functions that you can consciously control. Slow it down deliberately, and you're sending a direct signal through the vagus nerve that the threat has passed and you start recovering. Everyone focuses on what the ice bath does to your body, but the sauna is doing something just as powerful, and almost nobody talks about it. When your core temperature rises in a sauna, your cardiovascular system works really hard. Heart rate elevates, blood vessels dilate, blood is redirected through the skin for cooling, but after you exit the sauna, your body does something distinctive. It shifts sharply into parasympathetic mode to initiate recovery. Heart rate drops, breathing slows, the nervous system reads thermal stress has resolved and begins restoration. Do this repeatedly over a single session, sauna, recovery, and you're drilling that pattern. Activate, recover, activate, recover. The system gets better at both ends of the cycle. That calm feeling after an ice bath isn't just in your head. Cold activates the sympathetic system, but when you exit the ice bath and start to warm up, there's a pronounced parasympathetic rebound. The nervous system, having resolved the cold threat, swings hard into restoration mode. The calm feeling afterwards is physiological, not just psychological. The vagal tone is worth knowing about. This is a measure of how active and how responsive your vagus nerve is. High vagal tone means your parasympathetic system engages powerfully and quickly. Low vagal tone means it's slow, weak, and unreliable. People with a high vagal tone tend to have a better heart rate variability, HRV, better sleep, faster recovery from stress, and more emotional stability. It's one of the most researched markers of physiological resilience, and vagal tone is trainable. Cold exposure is one of the most direct vagal training stimuli that we know of. Over repeated cold sessions, the vagus nerve gets better at doing its job. The parasympathetic response becomes faster, more pronounced, and more accessible, including situations that have nothing to do with cold water.